All right, ladies and people in general, this is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0. This is a Mindful Attraction podcast, by the way. And today we're going to be doing chapter 3 from Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power. And this law is going to be conceal your intention. Now, mind you, this is the second time you're making this video, and the other one took a while to make. And that should piss me off, and I got to do it again. But this is the time when you got to execute some patience and relaxation, right? Um, so the reason why this is important is because this law is one of those laws that a lot of people break without knowing it. They break it not because they don't, not because it's difficult to execute, because in reality it's all about knowing some fundamental principles of what human behavior, but because of lack of patience and lack of and misinformation. The reason why is because of many reasons, but let's talk about why you have to apply this law to your life. You see, keep people, according to Robert Greene, he says, keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. If they have no clue what you're up to, they cannot prepare defense. Guide them far enough down the wrong path, envelop them in enough smoke, and by the time they realize your intentions, it will be too late. It's all about getting your way in life in a very subtle way, in a way that doesn't really conflict with other people's with other people's purposes, in a way that's subtle and doesn't really cause too much noise. And that's the highest form of manipulation, the ones that are subtle and unseen. You see, so the first thing we're going to be doing two different kinds. One is using decode object of desires, and the second one is using smoke screens. The objects of desires are distractions. The smoke screens are a way to hypnotize your victim. All right. So the first one is use decode objects of desires and red herrings to throw people off the scent. These decode objects are distractions that stem from vanity and desire for safety. For example, it's like killing someone and knowing that if you leave the body's clothes, if you leave the clothes in the body in the dead person's body, there's gonna be a hound, and the hound is gonna only be able to smell it. So all you gotta do is put the clothes of the body somewhere far, and so the hound will go there and be misdirected where towards the path where in reality there's no evidence there. You see what I'm saying? So you're just redirecting them with a distraction. And I'm gonna show you guys different ways on how to execute this. All right, so I'm not just gonna be telling you guys what to do without practical advice. All right, so Robert Greene also, mind you, again, the distractions are based on vanity and desires for safety. The vanity is any sense of enhancement, a promise, a fantasy. You see, a dream that you're able to provide. You see, the desire for salvation. The other one is the desire for safety. So again, it's salvation, happiness, financial security, or finding a mate and finally being with that one person. Those are all things that you can use to help people change their mind and manipulate them. It's kind of like countries when they fearmonger. If you want to get people into a war, say that there's a threat. Suddenly there's a desire for safety. Then you could provide the solution of war as a way to resolve the threat. But in reality, you just use the threat in order to get your way around things. You see, so you created that desire for safety through an object of desire, which is running away from that pain, which is the war, and towards that pleasure, which is the safety and sovereignty of your culture. And then you're able to get your way, and it'll feel like a win-win. But that's all an illusion. And at the same time, you also save face because you had a valid excuse. If you justify things, people will believe you. So it says, Robert Greene says, if at any point in the deception you practice, people have the slightest suspicion as to your intentions, all is lost. Do not give them the chance to sense what you're up to. Throw them off the scent by dragging red herrings across the path. Use false sincerity. Telling them, for example, like the false sincerity is kind of like telling somebody that you love them just to win their trust and get their money. I'm just using an extreme, but I'm just saying to get their money. Or saying that you love them to have sex with them. Another one is like fake opening up, being sincere so that they can reveal to you a secret. You see, the opening up of your own secrecy and sincerity doesn't really need to be real. It just needs to be a fake one, and people will open up. You see, it's sending ambiguous signals, setting up misleading objects of desire, like sex, in order to extort a guy, like women who use sex in order to tie the men up and get their money. You see, like the easy way is not to rob them, but to use sex and distract them and pickpocket them of their money. See, again, these are extreme examples, and I'm sure you guys how to apply it, but I'm just using this as a way to help you guys understand the concept. Unable to distinguish the genuine from the false, they cannot pick out your real goals. You see what I'm saying? So if you're a woman and you want to seduce a guy, the guy will not know that you're in reality trying to hurt him, simply because you're providing pleasure, you're promising him pleasure, and that pleasure is helping him, is causing him to miss all of the red flags that you're giving out, because he just wants a pleasure, he's distracted. It's kind of like, you see. So as an example, as simple as this law is, nobody really follows it, because people just don't know how to and when to shut the fuck up. That's a problem. They don't know when to and how to shut the fuck up, and that's a big problem. All right, because people take pride in not being able to shut up. The reason why is because, for two different reasons, and people don't really apply this very often, as simple as it is. One, it's too easy to talk about your intentions and your goals. It's too easy to open up about what you really want in life, and sometimes you can't really achieve the goal that you wanna strive for. So as a result, you're gonna lie. As a result, you're gonna start saying things that you can't really do. You're still gonna start making promises you can't really keep, like saying, "I'm gonna achieve this," and suddenly people say, "Yes, I believe in you," and the attention that you get is the reward of the goal, and so you feel validated. You don't really take action, but you feel validated. You see, that's a problem with that. But yeah, don't talk about your intentions. That's the one thing. But people are find it difficult to do that because it's hard. I do that too sometimes. You see, the mistake, and also the mistake people make is also that they think that by being and keeping it real, you win people over. Keeping it real doesn't win you in the long run. Keeping it real makes you lose out a lot. You see, Robert Greene says, honesty is a blunt instrument which bloodies more than it cuts. If you're someone who just talks and opens their mouth, one day you're gonna say the wrong thing to the wrong person. You see, your honesty may offend others and make you predictable, because they're gonna know. He's an asshole. He's an idiot. See, you can easily get him to open up. So as a result, they're gonna know your real intentions, your goals, your weaknesses, what you snap at, and then they're able to manipulate you even more when they know what angers you, when they know what makes you react, what makes you lose your keel. You see, so the principle behind this is a very simple behind you concealing your intention, and is overvaluing first impression. Humans overvalue first impressions. So if you don't keep that real, but selectively real, concealing your intentions, people are gonna trust what you present them. You see, people are gonna trust what you present them, and then you're able to sneak in there, start manipulating them, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. But the reason why people believe first impressions, not because we're dumb, but because it's difficult to question everything that's placed in front of you. That's impossible. We have to generalize things just to conserve energy. That's how the brain works. All right, so let's get started about some tactics. One, act like you support something and then switch it around. For example, it's like if you believe that LeBron James is, if you want people to think that LeBron James sucks, all you have to do is believe that LeBron James is the best player in the world. Be known as someone who is biased towards LeBron, and then when he fucks up, say, you know what, I think he sucks. And then people are gonna say, you know what, if he believes that LeBron James sucks, you know what, he was the biggest LeBron hater. If he believes LeBron sucks, he was the biggest LeBron lover. If he believes that LeBron sucks now, then you know what, I believe him. Simply because out of all people, I wouldn't expect him to say that. It's kind of like Richard Dawkins becoming Christian. If he becomes Christian, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, there's something going on here. I think Jesus might be real. You see, acting like you agree with an argument just to appear like you're open-minded. So intentionally losing an argument just to appear as though you're someone who doesn't mind, who is open-minded. And then you're able to deceive people from that perspective. People can be like, wow, look, he's such a generous person. He's such an honest person. And they're going to be distracted by your honesty, by your virtue. You see, another one is false sincerity. Make people think that you're an honest person and they'll believe anything you say. Communicate that you value honesty. What I value in a person is honesty and integrity. Sounds like a president, right? Sounds like every fucking president. You see, like a priest or celebrity that gives money just for the perception. They'll give money just to make themselves feel good. And again, it's actually a good thing to give money, but a lot of companies do it to give an impression, and it works. It really works. Creating charity, having charity changes your perception, and people. What really matters in life is not reality, but perception. You see, it's kind of like pulling pulling a Hillary Clinton, creating a front for charity, but stealing money underneath it. You see, another one is decoying an object of desire. Seem to want something that you really don't want, so that your enemy can focus on that. So that your enemy can focus on something that really will not affect you. For example, it's like acting like what you really care is about your money, right? It's kind of like you being a YouTube company and saying that you really care about your money, right? And then suddenly YouTube knows that you really care about your money, and so what are they gonna do? They'll take away your money, and now that's an easy way for them to manipulate you to shut down your channel. I'm just hypothetical, but in reality, you really didn't care about the money. You really didn't care. So now suddenly they wasted all of the time and energy thinking that by shutting down your channel, you're going to that's going to tear you apart, when in reality that didn't make a difference. You see, that's something like that. Or for example, it's kind of like having a false weakness, like having something about you that you don't like to talk about because it hurts your feelings, and then people thinking that that's the one thing that hurts you, and then suddenly when they want to hurt you, they'll try to strike at that, and they can't even hurt you, because in reality you just said that just to get them to strike at it, so that they can't really focus on what really hurts you. And you create that front through strategically reacting to certain things and being emotional about certain subjects, and then they're gonna say, wow, that really hurts them, and they're gonna be distracted from the other parts that really is your real weakness, so they can't really touch you. You see, I'm scratching myself here. Another one is decoying object. Okay, like having false weaknesses so that your partner can never hurt you. Act like you really care about a situation and use it as a leverage to leverage what you want. So for example, another one is let's say that you are buying a house, right? And you demand a pool. You're just doing that as a way to get leverage, right? In reality, you don't give a fuck about the pool. But you use it as a way to say, I'm not that satisfied. So then suddenly you have this house that you find perfect, but you say it doesn't have a pool. The person wants you to buy it, but you say, I'm sorry, man, I can't buy it if it doesn't have a pool. Now because of that, they say, you know what, I want them to buy. You know what, I'll lower it just for you. Please buy it. Would that be able to make up for you? You say, you know what, fine. And guess what? In reality, that didn't really make a difference. So you just use it as a way to leverage it. They thought you gained something, but in reality you didn't. They thought you lost something, but in reality you didn't. It's just an illusion. Mind you, if I get shut down, that means I have to leave, and I'll restart the podcast, and you see it on the stream. You see, but you guys will just get the video, and I'll have to continue some other times, just to let you guys know if this happens, if I can keep going. So that's one thing. Another one is say you want a relationship and make the guy not say that you don't want a relationship with a guy. Say that you just want to be friends. Suddenly he sees an obstacle, which is that he's in a friend zone. He's gonna try to get over the friend zone, when in reality he already has you, but you're just using that to get him to want you more, to fantasize about you. So he's being distracted. He doesn't know he's falling in love with you. He thinks he's gaining you, but in reality he's not. But you're just using it as a way to make him put more effort, more energy. You see, so another way that Robert Greene says is, hide your intentions not by closing up, with the risk of appearing secretive and making people suspicious, but by talking endlessly about your desires and goals, just not your real ones. You will kill three birds with one stone. You will appear friendly, open, and trusting. You conceal your intentions, and you send your rivals on time-consuming wild goose chases. You see, it's kind of like being, okay, so that's a way for you to do it. It's kind of like being a woman. If you want to have sex with a lot of guys and you don't want people to question why you're not in a relationship, all you gotta do is just say that you're looking for a man and that you haven't found them. And people will be like, oh, okay, so she is looking for a guy. You see, and so they'll think that you really are. But if you say that you're not, they'll try and find out why. Why aren't you looking for a guy? Why don't you want one? A way to shut them up, it's to distract them and say, look, I do want a guy. They'll be like, oh, she does want a guy. Little do they know you're fucking like doing crazy, like fucking getting dick here and there, doing what you want. But that's a way to distract them, to keep them thinking, oh, she is funny one. I wonder how things are going. You know, you don't have to be honest about everything. I'm telling you, my phone's been fucked up, man. I haven't been able to receive messages. I think it's finally fixed. Okay, so the next one is, mind you, this is the last thing. In order for this to work, you have to show the quality of honesty and righteousness. You know, I value honesty. I value sincerity. Make people think that that's what you value. So confess to a secret or weakness. Act like you stole something. Like say, you know what? I ate your sandwich yesterday. I'm sorry. I didn't mean just to eat your sandwich. Like I just felt bad. Even though you really didn't do it or you really don't feel bad. The point is by saying that, people say, you know what? Damn, he's an honest person. Wow. Like you don't need to say sorry, but thank you, dude. Thank you for doing that. People will feel like that's cool because a lot of people are dishonest. So that'll make you stand out even if that's actually not real. Do acts of public kindness. Give money to charity. Give money to a homeless person. You see, so that people can think you're an open book. They're gonna be lulled away by your honesty and love, and they'll want to believe you, even if you're saying lies to them and there's evidence are there. People will want to believe you. It's kind of like politicians. People believe so much in their political views that they'll believe them, even though they see evidence that says that they're lying. So the second one is use smoke screens to disguise your actions. Again, the last one was about distraction. This one is about hypnotizing your target. Robert Greene says deception is always the best strategy, but the best deception requires a smoke that to distract people's attention from your real purpose. The bland exterior, like the unreadable poker face, is often the perfect smokescreen, hiding your intentions behind the comfortable and familiar. If you lead a sucker down a familiar path, he won't catch on when you lead him into a trap. The smokescreen hypnotizes your victim. You see, you don't use crazy gestures or draw attention to yourself. It's more of the subtle way of infiltrating people. You blend in with your environment. You attack stealthily. The best one is facial expressions. You see, for example, it's kind of like you can easily deceive someone with a smile. Smiles are the easiest way to deceive someone. I saying, hey, you know, like a smile is the easiest way to deceive someone. It's a smokescreen. People are like, oh, he's such a charming person. He's such a nice person. You see, and then and you don't have to do nothing but just having the right facial expression. It's kind of crazy. The second one is noble gestures, doing acts of kindness to distract people and let their guard down. You know, making them think that you're a nice person, someone who is an honest person. You see, and so they'll see you as a paradigm of integrity. That's what the popes did, the priests did. A lot of spiritual people do that. And the other one is spirituality is a way to get a good smoke screen. Be known as a spiritual person. You see, and you'll be able to get away with a lot of shit. That's why a lot of cult starts. That's how genocides begin. Become a spiritual leader and people will believe you because you have a cause to do the thing for the Lord. And you can almost justify anything. You see, fronting that you love someone just to get their money. That's a way for you to do it. The smoke screen of I care for you. There's no way this person can ever hurt me. You see, establishing a pattern is also important. That's one thing. A pattern of consistency. Be known as someone who's a good person. Be known as someone who's charitable. Because once you're able to establish that pattern, you're able to you're able to put them to sleep. So then suddenly you can easily inject your venom and they won't even notice. You see? So for example, it's kind of like a boxer. Like establishing a pattern, and then suddenly snapping, boom, back. Like people will think you're one way and then suddenly you snap out and you're another. You see? Like make them think that you're just a one kind of person. And you'll always be unassuming. You'll always be underground, being that quiet person in the group. People will never guess that you will steal from them. People will never guess that you're manipulating them. The quiet ones. You see what I'm saying? Be the one that has the low ambition, but deep down you're working on big things. So that when the moment comes for you to shine, it's unexpected. The thing is that when you're trying towards goals, being quiet about your goals enables you to achieve them with less hindrance. Because people won't be jealous of you. People won't be resentful towards you. People won't say that you owe them anything. People won't put up roadblocks because of their own insecurity. No, they'll let you slide through. If you slide through while you praise them and making them feel stronger and validating their ego, they'll support you. And then once they see you, once you actually the finished product, then they'll be like, holy shit, I didn't notice that this guy was getting bigger than me. But you have to conceal it. You have to keep the expectations low through not revealing your intentions. You see, why? Because the reason why you want to, people have the tendency to believe that, to mistake reality, appearances for reality. What's presented in front of us, we believe that that's real, but that's not the case. You see, so people cannot get defensive if you're not a threat to them. And mind you, if you're ambition, you're gonna threaten people. You gotta be careful about that. Another one is blending in. People who act like they're your friend. People believe that you're part of the group, and that you're already part of the group, similar to undercover cops and spies. Being unassuming, but listening and seeing the different patterns and understanding the patterns of the scope. And once you're able to understand how everything works, it's kind of like trying to get out of jail. You don't get out of jail by being everyone. Or you get out of jail by being overt and just noticing the patterns of how the guards walk around, noticing the safety holes, just slowly doing it. And then when the moment comes, you snap. But you have to stay subtle, stay underneath the ground, and never reveal your intentions. Being unassuming. So when would this not work? First of all, this takes a lot of patience, mind you. This takes patience. This is not for the people thinking short term. If you're compulsive, this cannot work. You gotta think long term. Short term thinkers will lose out to long term thinkers. All right. So this will not work when you have the reputation of being a liar, because people will automatically be suspicious of you for anything. So if you're known as a liar, then you have to admit that you're a liar. You see, be like Jordan Bradford from The Wolf of Wall Street. I think that's his name. Where he was known as a liar, he was known as a manipulator, but because he wrote that book, he was so blunt and honest about it, people respected him for it. Even though some people hate him, I'm just saying people respected him for being honest about it. You see, so as a result, even though he did a lot of fucked up shit, people like him because of that. People like him because he was honest, and so he kind of gained that respect. The reformed person, kind of like Mike Tyson. People didn't like Mike Tyson, but now people like him because he's reformed. So if you're known as a manipulator, then admit to it. Be honest about it. Be blunt about it. All right, and then you can easily once again get back into the same mode, because people say there's no way he's gonna go back to that when he's being honest. There's no way he'll do that shit again. But guess what? You are. Look, I don't agree with a lot of the things this book says, because it's a little wrong. It's a little fucked up. But these are some of the ways to get your way around life. And if you have good intentions, do it. This is a better way to be subtle. This is a way to get around things and being subtle about it. And the sad thing is that a lot of evil men know this. A lot of evil people know this, and a lot of evil people use this for their advantage, and to take advantage of nations. And it's a problem. You see, I'm gonna be having the next video up. I'm going to be having the next podcast sometime next week, sometime tomorrow. I'm going to have it with a friend of mine, a little buddy of mine. He's also going to participate in it. But yeah, download, if you're watching this on the YouTube, go download it on my website, on my podcast. I'm going to have the link below and in the comment section. You guys can also check it out right there. But this is actually kind of fun. I like this. And I actually like to set up this room. You can check this out. This is actually a hotel that I go to. And I was like, you know what? Let me set it up. Look at that. I set up the lights. I got the lights and everything. They don't see me. Like, what are you doing here? You producing shit here? This is a very nice hotel. This is what I used to do a lot. I used to love sneaking into hotels. Hotels are the shit. Anyways, this is Alex from mindfulattraction.org. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.